What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting to you from the D, and we got another update with the Karmelo Anthony situation. The trial is moving forward. He's been indicted on first-degree murder charges. So, for some people, this may be a bit of a surprise. For me, it's not. Uh, if I had to be really real with y'all, I think this came as a result of that video. The media, well, a couple sources in the media were called to look at the video and take notes on it. So by the accounts that I read, there really is no self-defense here. This is just me going by what I read based on what the media outlets that were allowed to view the video and take notes interpreted about the video. So this is not no personal bias. I do not wish to see this man go down for this, but he put himself in a situation where he may very well go down for this. I mean, he took the life of another young man, and it was for a very silly reason, and he's going to have to be held accountable for this in some way. I mean, expecting him to take somebody's life and he just walk behind it, man, really, some of y'all are naive. And I don't think you would be feeling this way if it were your son or your nephew or your cousin or whatever that was struck down like this for no reason. Also, the Anthony family, they have raised their Give Send Go fund. Previously, they had raised $538,881, which is no small chunk of change. Okay, 500K and some change for bringing a knife to a track meet, in my opinion, is not it. But that's what ended up happening. But they've now raised it to a new amount, and let me read it for you because I don't want to misquote. It is $1,396,725. This is a very odd number. I don't know how they came up with this specific figure. I don't know why they didn't just round it out to 1.4 million, because it is just under 1.4 million. So I will round it to 1.4 million just for the sake of not having to remember this very odd, very specific number. And there's been a few people who've donated to it, not a whole lot. Somebody with $10, another with $10, another with $25, somebody with $100. So there are people giving to it. I'm not so sure that it's going to meet that 1.4 million, because I mean, that would be nearly tripling the amount that they had raised so far from it. And um people outside right now. All right, it's the summertime. People are outside right now. They want to use their money to go on vacations. They want to use their money to go to the clubs. They want to use their money for what they want to use it for. So I think they're going to get some people that are going to trickle in support, at least initially, because they just updated this June 25th. So this was, like within the last day or so. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be like crazy support. I think in many cases a lot of people have moved on at this point. And also some people are going to be like, man, first degree, that boy is cooked, and aren't really going to be wanting to donate. But let me read to you the update while I have it here. It says the Anthony family would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has supported us through this unimaginable tragedy. It is, but they don't really go into specifics with that. That's one of the biggest issues that the public has had. They've had really bad public relations. I mean, it's not a popularity contest, but at the end of the day, a little bit of humility would have went a long way. The lack of sympathy that was shown for the young man that their son slain, the lack of just remorse, just the human element was missing there. Whether you believe your son was just or not, I mean, you know, the unaliving of a man, a young man his age. I mean, they could have easily been buddies playing Call of Duty War Zones together, man. So it just was silly that it got here. And then, you know, that whole disastrous thing with the presser where the mouthpiece with the checkered past that they had there was putting the dad on blast, you know, Austin Metcalf's dad on blast, wanting him removed, police were called, and he really wasn't even doing nothing except just standing there. And when they talked to him, you know, he when the police talked to him, just telling him that he had to leave, he was very peaceful. He was very calm. He said he wanted to pray with the family. And it was interesting he said that because that's what I believed that he was there for. Not specifically to pray, but I believe that he was there to extend an olive branch. And had they have went over to that man and embraced him, like literally physically embraced him, I don't think he would have pushed away or anything like that. He probably would have broke down crying in their arms, because both families are affected by this in different ways, but both families are affected by this. So just that human element, you know, I think it just would have went a long way. But it continues to say, thank you all for your prayers, letters, donations, and unwavering encouragement. Today we received the official news that the Collin County District Attorney has indicted our son, your nephew, your friend, your neighbor, your Chicago Bulls. No, I'm kidding. This is a moment we hoped we would never face, yet one we've been preparing for throughout these long, painful months. No, no, they very much knew this was going to come. All right, there's no way that they didn't. There is no way that they could have thought that their son wasn't going to face a trial with the highest charges that they could possibly dole out. Through it all, you, our community, have been our strength. Your support has reminded us that we are not alone. Your love has helped us stand in the face of heartbreak, threats, and misinformation. Now, as the legal process moves forwards towards trial, we enter an even more intense phase, one that will demand everything from us emotionally, financially, and spiritually. I mean, that's facts there. The trial, if you're his parents, this trial is definitely gonna take its toll on you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Um, you know, I mean, right or wrong, you don't want to see your own child go through something like this. So I get it. We are not here to try this case on social media. So about that, the dad was on a live not too long ago. I think it was like TikTok live or something like that, talking about the case, and he shouldn't have been. You know, they had that one guy, I can't remember his name, but the dude that had like a checkered past, you know, of abuse and whatnot, that they had being the person being the face of the family when this all first went away. I mean, they were just really doing all the wrong things. They had doxed their own location by sending out that picture of him, you know, and an old boy, which I don't know if it's been taken down, but it's much too late for that. The internet is forever. So instead of getting somewhere, collecting their GoFundMe money and getting small, you know, they kept intentionally and some unintentionally being on some hey look at me stuff, and it was really angering the public. You know, it wasn't just white folks that were being angered by this. There were black folks that were being angered by this as well. People who didn't like what he did, and also people who were in support of what he did. They're just like, bro, like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all making it really hard to keep supporting y'all while y'all, you know, kind of being messy. So we are not here to try this case on social media. We are not interested in online arguments or judgment from those who do not know the full story. Carmelo will defend himself in a court of law, not in a court of public opinion. Again, it would have helped if they would have stayed off of social media and just in every capacity. Like no pictures, no statements. Certainly not the dad running his mouth on TikTok live. You can't make moves like this and then be like, oh, we don't want to try this in the court of public opinion. Stay off social media. That's the easiest, most effective way to just to have your day in court and get as fair and impartial of a trial as possible. Stay off of social media. I remember when this first happened, I said this: you gotta get small, right? Shut your mouth, hire a lawyer, get small. Like the whole posting online and stuff, you gotta fight the urge to, just be out there. Hey, look at me. Gotta fight the urge that, man. Some may wonder what this fund is truly for, and we want to clarify with transparency and honesty. These funds are being used to cover essential and urgent needs that have arisen as a result of this tragic situation, including but not limited to safe relocation for our family after repeated threats and the public leaking of our address. The public leaking of their address that was their own fault, mind you. They didn't dox their address, but that photo, the internet sleuths swooped in looking on Zillow and found the crib. I still be tripping off that. That was crazy of how effective internet sleuths can be. Because I don't know. I work in real estate, and I still wouldn't have thought to do that, to go on Zillow looking to find out what house it was. That was pretty clever thinking. Basic living expenses, as we've had to uproot our lives. I get that. Transportation to and from court proceedings. Trauma-informed counseling for our entire family. I don't know what to think about that one. I'm not gonna say that's a frivolous expense, but I don't know. I'll leave that one be. You guys can do with that what you will. Enhanced security measures, yeah. A critically critically retaining qualified legal counsel and a thorough, fair investigative team. Yeah, that's definitely something necessary. I watched a statement that the attorney that they have gave. From all accounts, he seems like a pretty sharp guy. He's got an uphill battle in terms of defending Karmelo Anthony, but he does seem like he's up to it. So, Godspeed to him. While legal expenses are a significant part of this fund, they are only one part. Our family, a loving, God-fearing family, is simply seeking safety, justice, and peace in these trying times. So, okay, in terms of the Anthony family as a whole, I think they are good people. I really do. What Karmelo did was stupid. He took a knife to a track meet. He went to go sit in the tent of the ops. When he was asked to leave, he wouldn't. And then he let a war of words or whatever turn into him stabbing a young man in the heart. And then he took off running. For those of you that are saying, oh, Metcalf put his hands on him and that's why he did it, I have not been able to find any evidence to substantiate that. Somebody said that his own twin brother admitted that he put his hands on him first. I have not found anything to substantiate that. So you guys, you need to stop getting your information from Facebook and wherever else, because you don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. And you're going by confirmation bias. You want to believe a certain version of events. So if people say this and that, and it's something in line with what you already want to believe, you just go ahead and take it as being the gospel and then you repeat it. You can't do that. You gotta take emotion out of things and be objective. I have my own feelings about this, but I have to be objective. I don't think Carmelo Anthony should be involved in this whatsoever. I think it's stupid. He had a mother and father at home. He was raised with every advantage that a young man in his position could be raised with. Yeah, he's still out here doing this stupid stuff. So I have my own feelings about this, but I try to be objective when I'm covering these stories, because you guys deserve objectivity from me. If you're gonna come to my videos and you value my opinion, you value my takes on these things, you deserve objectivity. You deserve me to give you the facts and not be talking on emotion and whatnot. Let's see. Today and until the trial date, we humbly ask, please consider making another contribution to the fund for Karmelo. Please continue to share it within your network. Please stand with us for truth, for justice, for our son. For the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Your prayers, your compassion, and your generosity have meant more than words can express. With love, faith, and determination, the Anthony family. That's a really good statement. I don't know who came up with it for them. I don't think it was the parents who wrote it. It was a really good statement. Very, very well articulated. Very, very professional. It wasn't overly messy. There are some things that I believe that they could have kind of been a bit more softer about, but it was very down the line. So I appreciate that. But all in all, that's what it is. They want 1.4 million now. I mean, they want roughly 900,000 more than what they've already received. And when you think about that, it's like, dang, man. I mean, do y'all have any of that money from the Give, Send, Go left over? I mean, I know 500K, you're not rich, but 500K is a good chunk of money. I get it, y'all had to relocate and all, but again, it's just been a few months. 500K is a good chunk of money. So what's happening here? I don't know. That's the update though, guys. I'm gonna leave it there. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do, and hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.